Hey, Shalawam, Shalawam. Alright. First and foremost, giving all power, giving all praises, honor, and glory be to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Bakakwadash. Those are the true names of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Yahawah equals He is, He exists. That's the Father's true name. Yahawashi equals He saves, He delivers. That's the Son's true name. And Rakakwadash equals a spirit that's holy, a spirit that's set apart. Alright. Shalawam, Shalawam. Second of all, double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone, which rule well and teach well and sincerely taught us His truth. And Shalawam to the Lord's hopeful elect, 144,000 men, as well as 1/3 men, women, and children, maintaining themselves, keeping the laws, commandments, and statutes to the best of their ability. It's your brother Yerami Kazak back with hopefully another edifying lesson through the spirit, power, and strength of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, and Kakadash as always. Alright, the live just got took down, and as you can see, got my live access right back. Alright, so the charges didn't stick, I guess. I don't know, but didn't say nothing wrong, wasn't even cussing, so it's just, it is what it is, man. We should suffer persecution in every form, so that's how this devil is coming. So I want to go on to the next point. In this video, it has another psychological point that it's gonna bring out, so let's get to it. And I pray this be edifying. Once again, this is Teacher Shall Teach. This will be part 2, okay? Because, Satan tripping. All right? And if they take the live again, like I'm saying, I be watching my language. I be watching what I say. I speak in code. That's why they gave me the live access right back, because I didn't do nothing wrong. And now they talking about taking my account, all right? Hey, we know what time we in, man, So, hey, it is what it is. So let's get into it, man. All right, this one is called The Ship of Theseus, all right? Pray is loud and clear. I'm going to run it.
The ship of Theseus is a thought experiment that challenges our understanding of identity and change over time. Theseus, a legendary Greek hero, owned a grand wooden ship. Over many years, the ship's planks began to rot, so one by one, they were replaced with new planks. Eventually, every single part of the ship had been replaced. The question arises, is it still the same ship? Now, imagine all the original planks were carefully stored and later used to reconstruct an identical ship. This leads to another question. Which one is the real ship of Theseus? The one that had its parts replaced gradually, or the one rebuilt with the original materials? This dilemma explores the nature of identity. If something slowly changes over time but retains continuity, is it still the same? This applies beyond ships to people, objects, and even personal identity. Our bodies replace cells constantly, yet we consider ourselves the same person over decades. But if identity is tied to physical continuity, does a reconstructed version of something count as the original? The ship of Theseus highlights the fluidity of identity. Philosophers debate whether things remain the same when altered, or if identity is tied to the sum of its parts at a single moment. In modern times, this thought experiment applies to AI, cloning, and even personal transformation. How much can we change before we're no longer the same? The trolley problem.
All right. And yeah, they just gave me a maybe it's the videos, man. I might just have to do these on YouTube because they just gave me like a restriction again. All right, so you know what? I'm gonna just close that. All right. The ship of Theseus. Okay, if I'm saying that right. Now, the point being is your soul, right? You got this soul inside of you. Okay, let's go first before we even get into this. Let's go to 1 Corinthians, the 3rd chapter. All right, this is verse 16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of power, and that the spirit of power dwelleth in you? Okay, so you are the temple of the Most High. All right, you belong to Him. Okay, If any man defile the temple of power, him shall power destroy, for the temple of power is holy, which temple ye are. Okay? So, how do you defile the temple? By doing things that the Most High deems as abominations. Things that he deemed as, that defile it, that corrupt it, that taint it. Such as smoking weed, okay? Such as adultery, sin, these type of things that he has told you not to do, not to indulge in, right? So, with that being said, going back to this point, how the ship, every plank on the ship was replaced. What should that lead you to think about? Your new man. Your ways have to be changed. Okay? Because this temple which you used to defile, and you used to abuse, and you used to just not care about, you eat whatever, you do whatever, you're not exercising, you're not walking, you're not praying, you're not fasting, that right there was a path of destruction, and you didn't care about this temple that the Most High had lended to you. Okay, so let's go to Ephesians 4, and let's start at verse 17. This I say therefore, and testify in Yahawah, that ye henceforth walk not as other Gentiles walk, in the vanity of their mind, because they do not care about the temple. They are not changing the planks on their ship. They're not elevating. They're not progressing to a better, path. So their vessel, because that's what the body is also called, a vessel. Okay, it's like a vehicle, a vessel. A means of transportation. Why is it called that? Because once again, your soul is inside of this thing. This is simply a temple, a resting place. This is where your soul is held up at. Your soul is what's going to be pulled up and placed into that everlasting body. Not this body, not this sinful flesh. Flesh cannot inherit the kingdom of power. So this body ain't going, because you got brothers, man, they be like, man, but I got tattoos, man, Okay, this body ain't going nowhere. This body going to be destroyed. This body is done. We going to get beamed up and changed in the twinkle of an eye. And what's going to follow you is your works. Okay? So verse 18, having the understanding darkened, being alienated from the life of power through the ignorance that is in them, because of the blindness of their heart. Because our people are slow, they're blind, they don't care. They want to continue to walk in the Gentile state of mind. They want to continue to do these foolish holidays given to you by your colonizers that beat your ass. Okay? And you don't care, you don't think to stop doing this stuff. You still do Christmas. You still worship Moloch. When you go into the origins of these things, you still do the Valentine's Day. You still get caught up in your feelings and your emotions. All these emotions, Esau is playing with you on. He's putting all this stuff in all of these holidays. Some people, they be like, man, it's 4th of July again. My daddy used to be here around. Man, get your... Don't you understand the devil is attacking you through all your emotions, man? You're weaker when you caught up in these emotions. All right? He wants to come forth and attack you and get you in your mind. So, emotions are portals for demons. Always. If you don't know how to rule over your spirit. Proverbs 25. Let's get that. This is Proverbs 25 and 28. And start at 27. It is not good to eat much honey, so for men to search their own glory is not glory. You need to have a balanced life. He that hath no rule over his own spirit, your soul, is like a city that is broken down and without walls. So you got to control your anger. You got to control when you get sad. You got to control happiness. You got to control all of this, man. You be too, let's say a woman, she come and she make you too happy, and she's doing that to manipulate you and control you. and munch off you and take all your money, all she got to do is make you happy. You know, then boom, she got you open. She got you wide open. You lost all limits, and you doing whatever. This is what we see when we see individuals simping. You do anything for her. I'm not doing anything for a woman, bro. I have standards, man. Okay? I limit myself. You understand? My wife, no, I'm choosing this over her. Period. I'm choosing Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi over her. Alright? This is Ephesians 4:19. Who being past filling have given themselves over unto lasciviousness, to work all uncleanness with greediness. But ye have not so learned Hamashiach. Okay? Yeah, give not thy strength unto a woman. Proverbs 31:3. Perfect. Right? Now, look at how Esau just took my live down a few minutes ago. Esau got in his feelings. We understand, Esau, you mad. Because we kicking your ass. We bringing it out. We letting our people know the truth. We getting in your butt. You understand that? Yeah, we get you. You know your kingdom is falling. So you pissed off. You can't control your spirit. I'm laughing at you, boy. You can't control your spirit. That's why a man that comes down with great wrath, he can't control his spirit. You should never come down with great wrath. You understand? That's a desperate situation. So this devil that's ruling this planet is desperate. You all a little desperate cracker. That's what you are. You're desperate, boy. You know? And you might take the live down again. Hey, my YouTube in the bio, man. You know what I'm saying? Last precept is Ephesians 4, and we was in 19 and 20. All right, and we're gonna keep going over here. Okay, but this is what you really gotta understand with everything, bro. We got an ultimate reward which is coming in the kingdom when we are gonna be putting chains on these devils. We get the last laugh, even if they take us out right now. They martyr us, they chop us our head off or whatever. They throw us in prison. We go through all this different type of hell. We know through Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, we're gonna come back and we're gonna be good. So we're gonna get that last laugh. We're gonna get that I told you so, and then they're gonna be in captivity for 1,000 years, living, dying, reincarnating, coming back, serving, dying, reincarnating, coming back, serving. Okay, so and we're gonna just continue to live. Our reward is far greater than anything they've ever possessed. It can't compare. I don't care how rich they are. Nothing can compare to what we are about to get. Not being able to die. All right. Verse 21, Ephesians 4. If so be that ye have heard him and have been taught by him, as the truth is in Hamashiach. Okay. This is spoke of in the book of Peter, where you got that sincere milk. He's gracious to give that to you. So be grateful that you have received this truth. Be grateful that you can call upon the names. Be grateful that you got fire in you to preach, to produce precepts, to come forth with this truth. All right? Because this, I tell you, man, when I first started preaching, I couldn't produce lessons, bro. I couldn't. Elders talking about 3 videos a week, bro. It was hard. I don't know. It was hard. I was a baby, though. As a baby, it's hard to talk. You got to learn the language. You got to learn how things go on, how things are done. So as a baby, you got to learn how to crawl. You got to learn how to walk. You got to learn how to stop shitting on yourself. Okay? So you have to first humble down and look at yourself as a baby, as a child, and come into this thing the proper and correct way. This is why we had some individuals come in like 2 lives ago, and they just running their mouth, talking, not having a rule over their spirit to chill out, relax, take notes, and get this thing in. Like this brother showed a good sign. He asked me what the precept was. That means he's taking notes. So that's a spirit that's willing to learn, right? That's how we came. That's why we know what we know. And we continue to know. We continue to grow, right? Even though we became teachers, we're still students. Even though we became leaders, we're still followers. You know, you're always going to be a student to somebody. You're always going to be a follower to somebody. Kakama, you ain't got to put that man name on Front Street, man. Let's keep it going. Verse 22, that ye put off concerning the former conversation, the old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lusts. So you got to examine thyself and be like, you got to check yourself. Maybe you talk too much. Maybe you have a problem over talking people. You know, you got that tendency. You got to put that off. You got to learn how to work in the flow of brothers. Build chemistry with brothers. You know what I'm saying? Because it's annoying. We are a body, bro. I don't want the heart to be poking the lungs. I don't want the small intestines to be fighting the large intestines, fighting for that job. No. Trust your brothers and sisters that they have the ability to bring it out. I trust that if I brought Kakama up here, you know, I could bring a scripture out. He could break it down. And I know he trusts that if he brings something out, I could break it down. So we feed off of one another's spirit. You know, this is the ultimate flow. And I love to feel that harmony, man. This is why you see some brothers, yeah, sometimes we lone, we got to teach by ourselves. That happens, okay. But two, let's get that in Ecclesiastes. Two are better than one, man. Okay. It's Ecclesiastes 4, and I'll start at 8. There is one alone, and there is not a second. Yea, he hath neither child nor brother, yet is there no end of all his labor. Neither is his eye satisfied with riches, neither saith he, for whom do I labor, and bereave my soul of good. This is also vanity, yea, it is a sore travail. Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow, but woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he hath not another to help him up. Say an individual, man, you teaching something and you go off and then you couldn't see it, you know, because you don't listen to anybody else. That's what you individuals that you don't want to listen to the elders. You don't want correction. You don't want rebuke. So you just over here fumbling and you're falling and nobody can help you up because you're not opening yourself to the brotherhood. Bro, the brotherhood is set up by Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi to help you. All right, Shalawam to that brother. All right, brother down there, St. Louis, I believe. Know you, the brother, Ariya's homeboy. Shalawam, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Barak, Ahtham. To everybody on the comment board. All right, so the brotherhood is set up to help you. It's an advantage, not a disadvantage. So when you individuals talking about camps this, camps that, you a toxic individual. You don't know how to work with others. You one of those people in school where we come in, you didn't know how to work with others. Teacher talking about getting groups. You like, groups. I used to use them groups. The girl I like in the class, where she at? Hey, you want to work together? You know what I'm saying? You got to learn how to work with others, man. Okay? It's actually bad for your mental health to be alone. It's good for you to come together. All right? At the end of the day. So verse 10 again. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow, but woe, destruction to him that is alone when he falleth, for he hath not another to help him up. Okay? This is why, as a parent, you should, a righteous man is known by his kids. Okay? So your kids are gonna what? They're gonna get older. They're gonna, like I got my kid, he cleans the kitchen, he washes the dishes, he cuts the grass, everything that I had to do, you know what I'm saying? So you teach them and they become a helping hand around the house. You teach them your ways. Of course, you teach them the laws, commandments, and statutes. Okay? You teach them your ways to continue. We supposed to be perpetual in righteousness, man. Right? Keeping it going. Verse 11. Again, if two lie together, then they have heat. But how can one be warm alone? The Most High created these bodies. Like I just said it, you come together. You come together with a woman. That's actually really beneficial for your health. And like I said, you will have heat. Okay? So it's a cold area. You get, you come together with a woman, man. You produce heat. These bodies actually, they get hotter together. That's how the Most High created these temples. That's a beautiful thing. You can look into it. It's healthy for individuals to come together. But then you have all these women now, they got independent mindsets. They want to be alone. They don't want a man. They're mentally fucked up, bro. That's crazy. And part of that is because they never come together with a man. So that's why they're so bitter. That's why they're so hateful. That's why they don't understand the proper way of life. Because you don't come together with a man. Your health is destroyed, man. You wasn't created to be alone. None of us, man. What did Yahawah say to Adam? It's not good for him to be alone. So he took a woman of his nation and brought her to him so he could be with her. And they were naked. They were together. They were not ashamed of one another. That's marriage. He went into her. All right? So just down to the basics of it, it's not a good thing to be alone. Now, at this point in time, yeah, you may have brothers that are eunuchs. You're setting yourself aside. You're not messing with women. Hey, that's your thing. You do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if you got that strength on you, hey, more power to you, bro. You know what I'm saying? So you had different type of spirits. Yahawashi was of that. Paul was of that. You know? You know what I'm saying? But hey, more on that point, a family is a whole nother challenge to a man. As we see with these goofies, TGC, Hassad, Hakkad, these individuals, Hakkad, really, you don't take care of your family. You're pimping your women, things of that nature. You're not taking care of your daughter. This brother called his 9-year-old a bitch. That's crazy. Like, that boy, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So he doesn't care about his family. So he failed that challenge because a family is in itself a test. Okay? So if the Most High gives you a wife, that's a gift from the Lord. And it's also a test because it's going to be demons and things jumping on her that you're going to have to combat, that you're going to have to deal with, right? Demons and things jumping on your kids that you're going to have to deal with, right? So you have to have the patience. It'll settling you down actually elevates you, right? So lucky if I seem like I was ranting. All right. Verse 12, and if one prevail against him, two shall withstand him. And a threefold cord is not quickly broken. We better in a fight together than alone, right? We better in a fight together than alone. Okay, so let me see, man, any precepts? Any brothers put up any precepts? Nope, I don't see none, man. So I'm about to get up on out of here. All right, this was just a continuation of the live that just got took down because Esau is up in their feelings. They're not ruling over their spirit. Okay? That's because this devil, you got to love it, man. When you see a cracker get mad, they get red. You motherfucker. You know how they talk. That's how they gonna be, man. That's how they are right now in their houses. They calling us all type of NIGGERs and shit. Okay? They're out there preaching on the corner, talking about we're not gonna make it. Yo, we're gonna see about that. Wait till Trump sends in the ice. Wait till Trump sends in the German shepherds. Get the water hoses. You're going back to Martin Luther King days. That's what they want to do. They want to take us there. All right? We're not gonna go there with them. Because we know, okay, our weapons are not carnal. We're not protesting, bro. We're not marching in the streets. What is that about? You see anybody out here marching in the street? They on some government shit. purple and gold. Oh, my bad. I don't know. You know, these individuals, okay, marching and protesting. That's not what we called to do. We are called to follow that order and go out there and bid them to the marriage by preaching the foolishness of preaching, as the scripture states. Don't make it up as you go. You have to follow the labor that was already laid out. It's a building blueprint already laid out. All right, Yahawashi laid it down. Okay? At the end of the day, you know? The C stands for Christ, and we don't call on that individual. We call on Yahawashi HaMashiach. You Hebrew Israelites, right? Well, start talking a little bit of Hebrew, man. Yahawashi HaMashiach. Okay? Not no Christ. Not Serapis Christos. Not Cesare Borgia. Alright? You know? So, hey, man, let's go to Acts. We're going to end it over there. Alright? Well, actually, let's go to Hebrews real quick. Hebrews 5:12 through 14. For when for the time ye ought to be teachers, you have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of Yahawah, and are become such as have need of milk and not of strong meat. The Most High ordained Moses, right, to step into that lot. And then Moses said, you know, your people are massive. I need help. So the Most High had the spirit of Moses' stepfather, father-in-law, okay, to tell him a certain structure on how to establish things. Get the elders of your nation so you can delegate, right? That's why the elders of Great Millstone, they have what? They have region heads. They delegated rulership of the men all over the world, man. Okay, you have camp heads, region heads, things of that nature. It all trickles down. It's a chain of command. So nothing is new under the earth. The Most High has established that order once again. You just thinking that it's not established because we're in modern times, Ak. These are not biblical times. Every time is a biblical time. Prophecies are passing, right? That's biblical. So every single second of every single day is biblical times. The prophets are here, right? This is biblical. The third woe cometh quickly, right? That's biblical. So every single time is a biblical time. Stop thinking with a mindset that Esau gave you. Yeah, we're in the 22nd century. This is modern. No, that's foolishness. Okay? This is the same biblical time, man. All right? Hey, bro, we don't say APTTMH. You know, you want to say Kal Halam La, Yahawah Bahasham, Yahawashi. Give honor and reverence to the Most High's name. All right? If a brother could, spell it out for him, help him. I believe the brother's sincere, you know. But you want to get away from that APTTMH. You want to get away from anything trendy or lazy, you know, and spell out the Most High's name. The more you see the name, the more you say the name, the better it's embedded in you. Okay? So, man, say the name, man, as much as you can every single day. Pray constantly. Pray without ceasing. Don't take any shortcuts. You know what I'm saying? So, keeping it going. Hebrews 5 and 12 again. For when for the time ye are to be teachers, you have need that one teach you again. As I said earlier, we're teachers and we're leaders, but we're also still followers. We're also still students. So, hey, we constantly watching the elders. You should wake up. I know Elder Apostle Ramla be up. He be on. Elder Apostle Gabar constantly, he going live at least twice a day. You know, Elder Apostle Tahar, boy, he just pumping them out. Elder Apostle Ricard pumping them out, right? So the elders are constantly there for you to watch and to get that understanding. So you never bite the hand that feeds you. You never forget where you came from. You constantly get that understanding. You constantly go back, you know? You do get to a position where, yeah, you know, you feel like you got your legs under you. You're not a babe anymore. You can walk by yourself. You know, look, ma, no hands. You know, yeah, you get to that point. But you still remember your spiritual parents. This is what these individuals have made the mistake of forgetting, such as Al-Azhar, Hakkad, Hassad, all these little baby camps. They forgot their spiritual parents and where they came from, and they've changed things that they were taught in their parents' house. Okay? You know? The same way you clean your room as a kid, man, that was training you to clean your house. You wash them dishes, you vacuum, that's training you so when you get your own, you know how to take care of it. All right? Verse 13, for everyone that useth milk is unskillful in the word of righteousness, for he is a babe. Okay? But strong meat belongeth to them that are of full age, even those who by reason of use have their senses exercised to discern both good and evil. And that's what we're supposed to do. Let's get that in Malachi. All right? We're supposed to discern between the righteous and the wicked. This is Malachi 3 and verse, I'll just start at 16. Then they that feared Yahawah spake often one to another. That's what we doing. We send each other stuff. We speaking to one another. Hey bro, yeah, they about to come through with this. They about to come through with that. Yeah, they putting up. Man, I saw a brand new flock camera. They just put up like 2 blocks from my house. You know, they putting these flock cameras up, these Raven systems, where they can just monitor and surveillance everything, everywhere, all over the city. I see them in the Walmart parking lot. I saw one in the Stater Brothers parking lot. They everywhere, man. I saw one leaving the city. I saw one coming in different areas. So what they're establishing is a grid system, a digital system where everything is monitored, where it ain't no possible way to be off grid because they know where you're at just by their satellites and by their cameras that they're setting up everywhere, you know? So the only way to fight against this is Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. That's it. You can't fight carnal means. This is a beast system. They're establishing their enterprise. Okay? So we speak to one another and we tell each other about these things. We tell each other about, you know, certain foods. All right, brothers, recipes, brothers, garlic. You know, garlic is good for man, especially I just stumbled on what's called black garlic. All right, it's like where you take garlic and you cook it or you let it soak in the sun. You know, it becomes black, and that's far more nutritious than regular garlic. Or you could take the garlic and put it in the refrigerator, and it increases the nutrients in it. You know, it's just these things that we knowledge is being increased. So as it happens, we tell one another these things. You know, we help one another. We be generous. So it's more ways to give alms than just finances, than just money. Okay, you can give alms by just being kind to a brother. You know, simply, hey, bro, you know, nice shoes, nice car, nice, man, especially at camp, bro, it's just love. It's just love, man. You know, if you can get to a camp, you got a camp near you, Great Millstone Camp, I suggest you go, man. All right? It's straight love. These are the true men of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. So Malachi 3 and 16 again. Then they that feared Yahawah spake often one to another, and Yahawah hearkened and heard it, and a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi, and that thought upon his name. We think, we seek, we keep the name of Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi in our minds constantly. All right? Every single day. First thing that we saying. We waking up and we praying to Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi. Okay? Verse 17. So that brother said, I knew you was GMS. Hey, you funny. Hey, not yet, man. I'm on the outside. All right? But verse 17. And they shall be mine, saith Yahawah of hosts, in that day when I make up my jewels, and I will spare them as a man spareth his own son that serveth him. Then shall ye return, and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth Yahawah and him that serveth him not. Right? What are we doing? We're discerning. We're letting you know. These individuals are correct. These individuals are incorrect. These individuals actually serve Yahawah. These individuals don't. And these individuals won't, unless they repent and get back. So we're standing, and a teacher, in a sense, as a teacher, bro, you stepping into a position as a judge as well. You have to make these, quick judgments while you're teaching. All right? So it's that position of a king and a priest, that's what we're being trained for. You're being trained up for all of that. Right? And why would you not want that position? That's the highest position, being a king and a priest. The understanding back in the ancient world, the priest was higher than the king. And we're going to be both. Okay? We're going to be kings and priests of our nation. So, let me go find, I want to go find it in Acts. And I'm about to finish, man. I may have went a little bit long. Okay. What is that one, man? Unless somebody teach me. If a brother know what I'm talking about with, I believe it's Philip. And the Canaanite. Unless somebody teach me. Acts 8 and 31. The Ethiopian. All right. Acts 8 and 30. We'll start at 26. And we're going to end over here. And the angel of Yahawah spake unto Philip, saying, Arise, and go towards the south unto the way that goeth down from Jerusalem unto Gaza, which is desert. And he arose and went, and behold, a man of Ethiopia, an eunuch of great authority under Candace, queen of the Ethiopians, who had the charge of all her treasure, and had come to Jerusalem for to worship, was returning and sitting in his chariot, reading Isaiah the prophet. Then the Spirit said unto Philip, Go near and join thyself to this chariot. Now, I asked a question to the comment board, right? Is this an Israelite or not? Is this Ethiopian an Israelite or not? Yes or no? Is he an Israelite or not? Yes or no? This brother said Hamite. Can we get some more questions? Answers. Dev said yes, he's an Israelite. Anybody else want to jump at it? Brother Hemi said no. Brother Gabriel said yes. All right, I'll take one more. We're going to find out who be reading, who be studying, who be watching, And it's no judgment. We're going to give the right answer. Okay? All right? That's all. Nobody else answering. So, he's an Israelite, man. Okay? The Most High, he don't give a damn about no Hamites. He don't give a damn about Ham. Okay? Were we ever sent to Ham? No. Who? African booty scratchers? We not sent to these individuals. Okay? So, this leads you to when you read Jonah. And Jonah goes to Nineveh. And we know Nineveh is a capital city of the Assyrians. But you got to understand, what was the northern kingdom doing? The northern kingdom was worshiping Assyrian gods. Just now, look at America. We got Jakes living in Washington, D.C., the capital city, Basra of Edom. Okay? We got Jakes living in the UK, in England, where their kings and queens at. We got Jakes living in these lands, and Jakes worshiping their false gods. So, just like the time of the Assyrian captivity, or even before that, you had Jakes living in Nineveh that was worshiping the false gods of the Ninevites. Okay? So you would have Jakes living in Ethiopia. You would have Jakes living in, just all these different regions, because understanding this is in the Roman captivity. So we have been scattered. All right? Babylonian captivity, the Syrian captivity, Persian, Medo-Persian, Greek captivity. Now, during this time, in the time of Acts, we're in the Roman captivity. We are scattered all over the known world. So you could have Israelites that are in Ethiopia. This was an Israelite, and he gained himself a little bit of status and power, etc., etc. The Most High is not going to send a prophet to an individual that's not, because the heathens can't get it in the first place. So the answer is, this individual is indeed an Israelite. Okay? So let's read it. Let's read 29. Then the Spirit said unto Philip, Go near and join thyself to this chariot. And Philip ran thither to him, and heard him read the prophet Esaias, and said, Understandest thou what thou readest? And he said, How can I except some man should guide me? And he desired Philip that he would come up and sit with him. The place of the scripture which he read was this: He was led as a sheep to the slaughter, and like a lamb dumb before his shearer, so opened he not his mouth. In his humiliation, his judgment was taken away, and who shall declare his generation, for his life is taken from the earth? And the eunuch answered Philip and said, I pray thee, of whom speaketh the prophet this, of himself or of some other man? Then Philip opened his mouth and began at the same scripture and preached unto him Yahawashi. All right? Yahawashi was what? Was prophesied of in the book of Isaiah. Okay, so that cuts you individuals, Old Testament only. You're denying prophecies that was stated, man. All right, Yahawashi was prophesied of. Verse 36, And as they went on their way, they came unto a certain water, and the eunuch said, See, here is water. What doeth hinder me to be baptized? And Philip said, If thou believest with all thine heart, thou mayest. And he answered and said, I believe that Yahawashi HaMashiach is the Son of power. Ain't no nasty ass Hamite gonna believe that. And Philip is basically co-signing, stating that this individual is an Israelite because he can be baptized. So all he has to do is truly believe. Hamites, they don't matter how hard they believe. All right? As we know in Isaiah 40th chapter, all of Lebanon is not sufficient to burn. So they could burn their whole nation and it wouldn't matter. They can't make no sacrifices to the Lord. They won't be able to get salvation. Matter. They can't make no sacrifices to the Lord. They won't be able to get salvation. Salakia, I don't know where it stopped. I put my phone on the charger, but I'm about to wrap it up anyway. Okay, I'll reread a little bit of this because I don't know where it stopped at. Verse 38, And he commanded the chariot to stand still, and they went down both into the water, both Philip and the eunuch, and he baptized him. Now, is water baptism necessary? No. Okay, because Philip told him, all you got to do is believe. All right, now if you want to get baptized in fluoride water, chemtrail water, you could do that. All right, it doesn't hurt. You could do it if you want to, but it's not necessary. Right now, we are what? We baptized in the word, the fire, the scriptures, understanding this truth. You can dump your head in water every single day and you won't know the breakdowns. You won't know how to break down the scriptures. It doesn't. I think like Christians think it's some euphoric moment when they dump their head in the water. Oh, the Spirit! No, nigga, a demon. That's what it is. you're just faking. Stop being an actor. Okay? You gotta know this, man. You gotta know this, and that takes time. Okay? So you're baptized through the Spirit, through the words, through this truth. All right? So, man, I'm gonna wrap it up right there. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna wrap it up right there. If there's any questions, throw them up. I appreciate all the precepts. Appreciate y'all bearing with me because the live got took down, but we got it right back because the charges didn't stick, the glove didn't fit. All right, fuck Esau as always. All right. So hey, going back to I jumped off the video, but going back to the boat, walking that new man. All them planks have to be put on your new boat. Walking that new man. That spirit, you taking off everything of the old and you're throwing back everything of the new. All right? So you're living in the spirit by the spirit, right? You're not living by the flesh anymore. You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. Hey. Hey, hit me up, man. I don't know what region you in, but if you close to a major city, I know it's a GMS camp close to you. You know what I'm saying? And all you gotta do is, find a camp on YouTube and just start watching them. Yeah, you in Philly, man, playing tables, GMS playing tables. Them brothers active. You gotta find where they at. So on Saturday, maybe if you can't ride around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, them brothers probably out there. But hey, man, I'm facing the east already. So, giving all praise, honor, and glory be to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone, which rule well and teach well and sincerity taught us this truth. Shalawam to the Lord's hopeful elect. Kwam Yasharahla and abide babal. Alright, yeah, bro, they do have a camp in Tampa. Okay, most definitely. Alright, hey, I'll DM it to you. Alright, I'll DM you the Tampa camp. Okay. But yeah, you got a camp in your region. That's up to you. You got to do that work. Buy the truth and sell it not. You gotta get your butt up and you gotta go find them brothers. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get your butt up and you gotta go find them brothers. Now, hey, I'm gonna try to, I do what I can. We do what we can, but it's up to you to get up and go and search them individuals out, man. You know what I'm saying? But hey, the water, shalawam.